What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Newberg podcast, a show where I chat with rock stars and famouses from my kitchen. Today on the show, I'm so excited. I'm over the moon. I've bugged him for months and months to be on the show. I'm here with bassist, principal songwriter, rock star from the band Skid Row, Mr. Rachel Bolan. Thank you so much for being on the show, brother.
Of course, man. I can't believe how long it took for us to actually make this happen. I remember saying last April 2024, yeah, June will be good.
Right.
And now
Right.
here we are a year later.
It's just awesome. Well, you were on tour, I think. You were just getting ready to go on tour.
Yeah, we were touring and there was a whole bunch of stuff going on. I was moving, which was a big thing, moving back up to Jersey and I got married, all kinds of crazy stuff that take up time, you know what I mean?
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump right in because I have so many questions. I've had these questions since like 1989. All right, first things first. So in 1989, I'm driving down the road, and I Remember You comes on, and I'm just driving. I'm like, oh, this is a fun song, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, whoa, that kid can sing. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in the solo, there is this note that's like, the last note that goes up to like the sun. And my question is, was that on purpose? Was he just it's like it's the coolest note ever? Like that.
Man, that solo, Scotty Hill played that solo, and it's so iconic. Scotty's one of those guys, and his whole theory is, I write a solo around if it's fun to whistle. Now,
Oh, wow.
that just describes Scotty 100%. I've known him since we were 21 years old. I've known him for 40 years. So, yeah, that's just his thing, man. It's like, okay, I'm down here now, but maybe I could be way up here next note. And that's what he does. And he just creates these solos that are so timeless. That one and 18 in Life, I see so many like posts of people playing those solos. It blows my mind. It really blows my mind.
It must be like a super special feeling to just know that you were like, well, you were probably just in your room or wherever you said the song. I read somewhere that the song just kind of came about. You know, you guys were just jamming around, and like all huge songs, apparently you guys weren't going to put it on the record initially.
Yeah, Snake and I we wrote it, and we weren't into it, and for the sole reason it's kind of the me anyway, the punk rocker coming out in me. It's like, everyone's putting those out. I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. And Snake agreed. And then we the rest of the band was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? We're like, no, don't want to do it. And then the label said, either you're putting this on the record or the record's not coming out. I'm paraphrasing, but something to that effect. And so we were like, all right, fine, whatever. And here we are.
Here we are. So you were 25 years old when that record came out, and you were all of a sudden, so you started like you started in bands, and you started just jamming in high school, and all of a sudden you're 25 years old. You're a rock star. You've got a multi-million selling record. How big is your ego at this point?
You know what? I come from a family that, I'm the fourth of four kids. So if you messed up, you heard about it, and you would never not hear about it. So my parents always told me, even before the success of Skid Row, they're like, we support whatever you do. Just make sure you know that some trains don't ride forever. And that kind of resonated with me. And so I was always the same guy. I mean, I'm sure there were times where I just, kind of felt entitled to stuff, which is bullshit because I hate entitlement issues. But I just, ego kind of stayed the same. Most of us, it was like that for most of us. We just, it was like, cool. Now we were kids from Jersey. Now we're kids with Jersey that could buy cool shit. You know what I mean? And we get to travel. It's like, we were playing the Stone Pony in Asbury Park. And then literally in front of 300 people, then literally the next week, we were opening for Bon Jovi at Reunion Arena in Dallas for, 25,000 people. And my biggest lesson and my takeaway from that show was like, I got to work out because I'm used to running across on these tiny stages. And now all of a sudden I'm on a concert stage and I was out of breath by the time I got to sing on my own mic.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah, it
well,
was
yeah, like
crazy.
well, like 'cause when I would watch the videos, like I mean, like I think I burned like 500 calories watching you in the monkey business video. Like, geez, it was just like you're going
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, we were very animated guys, still are to the point, that we can be at this point in our early 60s, but it just takes you over, man. The music just takes you over and the adrenaline, it's like anything.
How is touring different now versus? I mean, obviously, physically, the different physical limitations. What's touring the vibe like now versus back in the day?
Um, we're different mindset, as far as the partying's, way dialed back. Sometimes, most of the time, it's way dialed back. But it's the traveling when we were 24 and 25. The traveling didn't get to you. It didn't seem to anyway until the tour was over. Then all of a sudden, you're like, oh my god, I need to go to a hospital or something. And I've been. We've all been treated for fatigue.
Mhm.
Now it seems like we know it's coming. We know that like what it entails, so we think ahead, I guess. And it's a light form of adulting, but you got to do it, and
Mhm.
just to get through it. And now you don't have to go to a payphone to call home, which was
Right.
always a great excuse to not call home.
Right.
You know what I mean? The weirdest part is everything you do, um, whether it's on stage or whether you're somewhere in the public, it's going to be public news within seconds of when you do it. So the thing I like about it is you got to be on your A game all the
Mhm.
time. And I like that pressure of going out on stage and not just mailing it in, because there's times where you're sick or some days you just don't want to go out and play, which sounds so stupid, but it's true. Some days you're just like, I just want to lay on a bed and order pizza and rot. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's
Right.
like, and sometimes you go out and do it, but you have to be on your A game because it's going to be out there thanks to social media.
Are you thankful that there wasn't social media back in the day when you guys were when it was going 100 miles an hour? Like, or do you wish it were there more?
No, I actually I can't stand social media. Like I honestly hate social media. I don't post a lot, but I just hate what it's done to people, and I hate what the overall uh, there obviously there's a lot of really good people and there's a lot of really positive things, but man, the majority of stuff is just like everyone's a critic, which is cool, I guess, but it's just, I don't know, it seems like everyone's really mean to each other, and it's really easy with that anonymity, I guess. But I don't know, I personally I don't really like social media, but unfortunately, it's a necessary evil these days if you want to promote something or you want to get an idea out there. But it is what it is. Am I glad it wasn't there in the past? Yeah, I'm really glad. And not because there were always cameras, but it's just people wanted to come see shows, and
Right.
you had to wait to see something, and had that excitement build up. I mean, when I was a kid, I would concerts would come around and we'd see a commercial on TV for Kiss coming to the Philly Spectrum or to the Garden in New York, or, you hear it on the radio, and that's the only way we knew about it. And you get a magazine every other month or bi-weekly or whatever. And I, there was something, I really miss that. I really miss the buildup of everything and the mystique of bands. It's just, I'm glad we had the success when we did, because it seems like it's a lot harder to sell a record these days than it was when we came out. And there's a lot to do with that, I think, in my opinion. Social media, Napster, like that really hurt the artist. But yeah, I'm pretty glad that social media wasn't around when we first came out.
Do you do you look at it like, so like you're a punk rocker, you're like, you know, a rocker, you know, and you're into this, you know, you with your influences that I've heard you talk about on other podcasts and different things. Do you think that there can be rock stars in 2025? I mean, it just seems like everything is so cookie cutter.
You know, I was really doubting it until Youngblood, and
Okay.
I think Youngblood is going to change the landscape for a lot of people. And man, when he did changes, when him and Nuno and who else was up there, Frankie, and man, when they did changes, I was like, all right, this and just his stuff even before that, I like it. He's really fucking good, and to see him be like the center of that show, you know, obviously other than Ozzy and Black Sabbath, but wow, man, I there were a lot of bands on there, and I have friends that played on there, but wow, that dude, he tore shit up, and it's gonna. I think it's really going to change the landscape. You could tell he works really hard,
Hmm.
and he's a great performer, and he's a rock star, man. And it might, you know, there's a few definitions people have of rock stars, like, you know, you got your David Lee Roth type of rock star, you have your Sid Vicious type of rock star, and then you have rock stars that just have that total control of what they're doing and what they're making people experience. And
Hmm.
that's what I really, really love about Youngblood.
Yeah, my wife is a huge fan. So I watched him and I was like, holy shit, this guy's great. And so now she calls me Old Blood. So it's a lot of
That's great.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. Okay, so you guys have had one, two, three, four, seven records that I can see that I counted. Most recent, The Gang's All Here. Going back in comparison to like the first couple records, again I heard you on another podcast talking about how it was several $100,000 for the budgets for the, you know, records back in the day. That
Mm.
seems unheard of these days. I mean, and the recording process is obviously different. You're not like shipped off someplace for a month. You experience it. How long did records take back in the day when that's all you did versus like, let's say, you know, RPM or The Gangs All Here?
Well, the first two albums with Michael Wagner, those were both about 2.5 months
Okay.
from start to the final mix, and then mastering is another thing altogether. But yeah, and that seemed that was somewhat short. You know, I mean, there were bands that would come in and crank out a record, and it's like, you know, oh, we did this record in a week, and it's like, how the hell did you do it in a week? You know what I mean?
Right.
But for the most part, 2 months was kind of short. You know, people were taking years to do records. You know, like Def Leppard, and I sit there and I hear stuff like, you know, Fleetwood Mac. Rumors took almost 2 years to do,
Right.
and where they were reusing tapes to the point where you could hear the other takes bleeding through on the one that they kept. And
Right.
that's mind blowing. I would go out of my mind. Aerosmith, and like back in the 70s, Aerosmith and Kiss were putting out records in 6 month intervals. You know, they would go in for 3 months and
Right.
just hammer it out, and then go right on tour.
Right.
And that sounds so stressful, man, not getting it done. Like I'm the kind of guy, once I start something, I just want it finished. You know what I mean? I want the project finished. I mean, we've split to do like, you know, weekend gig or something like that in the middle of recording, but it wasn't like going on tour. That would make me absolutely nuts.
Yeah, that would be bananas. And plus, the touring back then used to be so extensive. Like it was 6, 7 months at a time. And I mean, tours aren't that long anymore, are they?
Not with us. I mean, we still do when we tour. We'll still do in a year between 85 and 100 shows, which you know, to me that seems like a lot. But back then, I mean, the first album we toured for the better part of 2 years,
Wow.
and because it just kept getting more and more legs everywhere we went. So we're like, well, you know, we're not gonna stop touring because this is such a great opportunity. And we got, we started with Bon Jovi, then we went to Europe with Motley Crue, then we came back to the States and went out with Aerosmith. And this was all just, and we did three legs with Aerosmith, and we were doing headline shit in between there too, like in Japan and Australia and the UK. And yeah, man, it was nonstop. But now we'll do, we'll go out for 3 or 4 weeks, come home for half a week, and then tours. A leg usually lasts about 3 to 5 weeks, and so it's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad. Now, do you have a singer yet? Or are you still auditioning?
No, we're auditioning, and we're actually we're planning something special for the audition process. We've auditioned a few people that we really like, but we don't want to leave any stone unturned.
Okay, so now do you guys have a specific? Because I remember when I was in bands. I mean, you're 5 years older than me. Around the same time, our managers and stuff would be like, you have to have a cohesive look. And there's that whole thing and the whole branding thing. Does it matter if this person can sing like crazy if they look like me, like Santa? Like, is that a type of singer? Like,
you know what? We're not putting any parameters on anything. We except the voice and being able, and also the hang. You know what I mean? You could get a guy that could come in and just destroy all these songs and be like, yeah, he's a great singer, and then all of a sudden, oh wow, okay, he was just here for content, or he's not cool. I can't hang with this guy. He yells at waiters. You know what I mean? He yells, shit like that. It's like auditioning a family member. Someone that's going to join your family. You spend a lot of time together, and we don't want to end up with someone we can't hang with. So that's a big part of it.
Now, what are the auditions going on as we speak? Are they coming up, or is it constant?
No, it's not constant, because here the hard part is we don't live near each other.
Okay.
I'm in Jersey, Snake's in Long Island, Rob is in Atlanta, Scotty's in LA. So it takes a lot of planning, and if we go and audition one person, it's like, okay, how much are flights? How much are rooms for a week? How much is it? So we're planning on just getting in one spot and kind of camping out there for a while and having a bunch of people in. But we've auditioned some people in Jersey. We've auditioned some people in Nashville, and yeah, so that's the plan right now.
So you're doing your own skid idol to just find the
pretty much, yeah, kind of.
Would you be open to a female? Because I saw those shows that you did with Lizzie. When it was Skid Lizzie, I thought that was really fun.
It was amazing. We're not opposed to that at all. We have to think too, what someone is going to step into a position that needs to have, needs to be ready for criticism, and we just want to make whoever comes in, if we like them, male or female, we just want to make sure that they don't get freaked out,
right?
Because we've been in that position where, it's like, what the fuck? Why are these people saying this shit about me? It's like, you just don't read it. You just don't read it. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is where social media really sucks, because that's why I got off Facebook. I like everyone every day. Yeah, you're an asshole. Your music sucks, this and that. I'm like, man, what? Yeah, it's like, fuck. Yeah, it's like, and then, it's pretty funny because I talk to other friends in other bands, and we sit there and we kind of read the message boards for sport now, because it's kind of funny, and it's always the same type of thing. And I'm always sitting there thinking what that person their day must be like. You know what I mean? Like, they get up, they're mad. Rachel doesn't want to do a reunion, and this and that and the other thing, and he broke the band up, and he sucks, and this and that. And then they go to bed, they go all through their day just as angry about someone they don't even know, and don't even know their thought process. And then they go to bed just as fucking angry. And then they wake up the next morning just as angry. And I think, I wake up in the morning, I go, I'm in Skid fucking Row. Fuck you, dude. What are you
Right.
doing? You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. And I've noticed when the insult or like when I read comments on my stuff, my favorite is like I'll get the most horrifyingly like offensive comment, and then I'll look at that person's page and they're like they have some Bible quote on there and they're like loves Jesus. And I'm like,
Yeah,
what are you
yeah,
talking about? No, you don't.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, people are fun.
yeah.
A lot of fun. What is your favorite lyric that you've written?
Ah, man, good question. I think, man, there's like a lot of the lyrics to Quicksand Jesus. I really like just because there's so much metaphor in there, and
Right.
I write a lot in metaphor. Um, but then some stuff I just like to write clever shit that kind of rolls off the tongue cool, or sounds cool and might have a touch of humor in it. In Creep Show, the song Creep Show on Slave, I just came up with a line and it just kind of fit like phonetically, and we kept it. It was hit me with the shovel because I can't believe I dug you. And so every now and then, like I'll hear that song, or we'll do it during the VIP experience, and I just start giggling. I'm like, that's so silly, but it's kind of cool.
That's hysterical. Because I dug you. Would you say that like what? Okay, what? This is silly, but like what song in that era, like in that era when metal was huge and all those bands were, when you guys were all competing together and it's like the monsters of rock era. Is there a song that you wish you wrote?
uh Yeah, there's a few. I mean, there's a lot of Kiss songs I wish I wrote, like all of them. But Killers by Maiden, and I'm not really a metal guy, but I always really liked Iron Maiden, and being a bass player, obviously Steve Harris playing was the main major attraction for me.
Right.
But yeah, man, I can't think of any right now, but there definitely was, a lot of stuff that I grew up listening to more so, like Breakdown by Tom Petty.
Uh huh.
I just love that song. Like the arrangement is so wacky, like there's not even an arrangement to it, and there's a false start to it, and I just love that song so much. And then a lot of Aerosmith stuff, and Shoot to Thrill is by AC/DC is probably the
Amazing
best.
song.
It's probably the best rock song ever written. If it falls under heavy metal, I'm not sure, but yeah, I wish I wrote that song for sure.
The rhythm guitar playing on all the AC/DC stuff is just so bananas. Like it's,
Yeah,
I mean, I played guitar for 25 years, and sometimes I can't figure out what Malcolm's doing because he's just like it's just the rhythm's so bananas.
it's just a thing. It's a feel, and that has never been duplicated. You know what I mean, or replicated.
Yeah, it's pretty bananas. Okay, I burned through most of my questions, so I've got a couple more like kind of nerdy ones. But I'd love to get into the rapid fire because I think we'll kill it.
Okay.
Are you ready? Because
Yep.
that way I get to cover all the questions that I didn't get to, plus other ones, and it's fun. So all right, okay. First one is you're from New Jersey. Bon Jovi's from New Jersey. Do you think Tommy and Gina knew Ricky?
Probably right before he went to jail.
You think so?
That turned their life around.
You think? And I always think, would it suck? Ricky's still in fucking jail.
Hey man, do the crime, got to do the time.
Was there really a Ricky, or was that a story?
It was a story made up. It was kind of, we all knew a guy like this, and we just kind of wanted to Springsteen the shit out of it. You know what I mean? And I think everybody knew that guy that always just got in his own way.
Yeah. Okay. Who would win in a fight, Skid Row or Winger?
Well, I wouldn't want to fight Kip. I mean, they're all my friends, but if we had to fight, it would definitely be Skid Row.
when you toured with Guns N' Roses, they were obviously they were so big then. Was it the biggest tour? Was it as big as Kiss, or was like Kiss bigger, or like?
Well, yeah, it was a really big tour at the time. For me, being on tour with Kiss was like, okay, bucket list, yeah, because they're one of my favorite bands. Touring with Guns N' Roses was cool. I was never a huge Guns guy, but we made friendships. We all got along great and had fun, and when there wasn't riots, we had a really good time.
Yeah, that video. There's a video that it's on YouTube. It's got millions of views and stuff. It's y'all playing. I think the last song of the tour. I think it's I Remember You, and you're on stage, and it's like and Snake's playing the opening riff for like an hour, and and yeah, you guys look so tired. You guys you guys just look so exhausted.
Yeah.
Okay, I read that you did backing vocals on Dr. Feelgood. What song or song?
Was it there? I think it was two songs. Change was one, and was it Same Old Situation? I don't know. I got to look at I don't have the CD near me, but yeah, one was definitely Change, the ballad, and then I thought there was one more. Was it Same Old? No, I don't think it was Same Old Situation, but yeah, I think there was one more on there.
I love that. That's like a new level of rock star to just be like, yeah, I don't remember which Motley Crue song I sang on. Yeah,
I'm being totally serious. I'm not trying to.
No, I understand completely. But just like, yeah, I sang it. I don't remember. Okay. You said sometimes you want to sit on the bed and rot and eat pizza. What's the best pizza in Jersey?
Best pizza in Jersey. Ugh, man, it's hard to get bad pizza. I'm a big fan of Verace's in Silverton, New Jersey.
Okay.
Damn, they got good pizza. And actually, the strip mall right next to them, Johnny G's, has badass pizza too. So those two are my go-to.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. And favorite Elvis Costello song or record?
Okay. So it wasn't written by Elvis. There's a few. I love Lipstick Vogue, and I love that whole album. Is that This Year's Model? Or am I getting that mixed up? Anyway, that whole is that This Year's Model, right? Yeah. Okay.
I think it is, yeah.
So Lipstick Vogue, and then one of my is a great song. One of my favorite songs that he did, which he didn't write, Dave Edmunds wrote, was Peace, Love, and Understanding. That song is just so killer. My wife surprised me with Elvis tickets when we still lived in Nashville, and we flew up to Jersey to see him in Atlantic City. And I'm going, oh, you got to be kidding me. He's not doing Peace, Love, and Understanding. I knew he wouldn't do Lipstick Vogue, but he wasn't doing Peace, Love, and Understanding. And then he did it as the encore, and I was like, oh, thank God. like the balance is restored.
Awesome. All right, you're 4 for 4. So I read that you got your Rachel name by combining your brother Richard and your grandfather Manuel to make Rachel. Was there a time when it was Maynard?
Man, if I ever change my name again, it's going to be. But yeah, no, not until now.
Okay.
Not until now.
Okay. All right, awesome. All right, sweet orange rose, watermelon crush, cafe scrub, and sandalwood pine are scents of what brand of soap?
Dirty Rocker Soap. DirtyRockerSoapco.com. There you go.
There you go. So you got a
shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Okay, so what's a bigger rush for the soul? Racing high performance go-karts or being on stage at a stadium? On a stadium?
Well, I'm going to say on a stadium, on a stage, on a stadium. However, racing a car is damn close to it, especially if things are going good. If things aren't going good, it's exciting in a completely different way, especially if all four wheels are off the ground. It's exciting very differently than being on stage.
Awesome. Okay, 3 real quick ones left. How many bases do you have?
But I would say about 35,
Nice.
35. Yeah.
Are they all
No,
Spectres?
I got Spectres. I got a couple. I got a BC Rich. I sold a lot of them that I didn't use. I got a Hofner. I got a bunch of P basses. Did I say that already? No. And there's a few other ones in there. Oh, a couple Gibsons. But yeah, when I moved up from Nashville, I loaded them all into a trailer, and my wife was like, "How many is there?" She goes, "I know you took count because you take count of everything." And I go, "I
Right.
owe 53 combined bass guitars and electric guitars and acoustic guitars." She's like, "All right." And I go, "In my defense, two of them are snakes that he didn't take home."
That makes a difference.
So yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Your first show at, it looks like Massaquan, was Massaquan High School? And
Manasquan.
then your Manasquan High School. Is that on DVD or is it just a film that's
I
available
think it's
somewhere?
carved in stone somewhere. Yeah, you gotta crank the bird in the Flintstone machine. Yeah, no, nothing on video with that.
Okay, great. Last two. Have you ever sneezed and forgot that your nose chain was in and like went to scratch your nose and like ripped it out?
I've sneezed and not noticed like snot on my nose chain, but I had one of the guys pointed out. They're like, "Dude, you're disgusting." I'm like, "What?" They're like, "Look," and I'm like, "Oh man, I'm like, yeah, okay." So, but I have ripped it out a couple times, getting it caught on stuff. So, yeah.
Ugh, that sounds painful. All right, final question. What is next for you?
Well, I got some of my own music I'm working on, but right now we're just we're gonna start a heavy duty audition process and try to find the new person in Skid Row. Yeah, brother.
Excellent. Well, Rachel Bolan, thank you so much for
Thank
chatting
you,
with me.
man.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for listening, everybody. Like, subscribe, follow, all the fun things. And let's see. Let's just get out of here. I'm going to stop recording.